We would like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool because
Smart.
it's the
New.
gangsta
Baby.
And if you don't know, now you know.
No. Now, you know what? Today, it looks like
Okay.
we're still celebrating 420.
Oh, is that on the camera?
On the camera.
Okay,
Like
I see that. I see it. I see
we're
it.
trying to give y'all a little sex appeal.
Look, cloud,
little cloudy,
little opaqueness or something like that. Yeah. So tag a friend, y'all tap in, man. We here. We on the radio, mama. I'm on the radio.
Oh, look.
Edmund in the building. My man.
I talked to Mr. Edmund this morning. I told him, you going to make it. He didn't think he was going to make it. And look, he walked in right on
Won't
time.
he do it?
He'll do it. And you can plug your thing in. Plug it in.
Look, even put the headphones on. They ain't plugged in. But he wasn't
plugged in. That's why he did it.
He did that. Who you wearing, man? You the fashion guy. Eddie Hardy. And who is Eddie Hardy?
Yeah, he been around for a long time.
He's not a local guy.
Some white guy.
I've been paying attention to logos. I was at Urban couple weeks ago, and I seen the Royce had on a sweatshirt, and I looked at the logo, and I'm like, who is that? He was like, man, that's Timberland. I'm like, I don't know these brands, man.
Because everybody has brands now.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of you know,
that
now people can go ahead.
Listen, do your thing.
I heard a white rapper. A white rapper was talking to the black rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And guess what he told the man?
What he told him?
You got on Louis, Gucci, Versace, and then worry about why you can't get the white man off your back.
Oh.
Boy, that guy.
Louis and all of them.
And then wonder why you can't get the white guy
off
your back.
Wow.
Oh, I like
that was tough.
So listen,
that
I
tough.
really like sarcasm.
That's tough.
At its finest, right? Like I'm telling you, I love it. Now this is
not medium well.
Not medium well.
I like to hear it, but I don't like people to be sarcastic with me. So when you're sarcastic, and I'm very sarcastic too, right?
Okay.
Jabbar over there shaking his head.
Coach D.
All right. I can be right. But if you want something from me, because see, my dad can be sarcastic. Right.
I can too. He used to drive my wife crazy.
Oh, and I tell him all the time, Dad.
You see it? Oh yeah.
Dad, if you want something from me.
Yeah.
That's not gonna that's just gonna be cause I do it never mind. It don't matter. It don't really matter.
When you sarcastic?
Cause I am. It's like the pot calling the kettle black.
Okay, so you can't really
you know how
name
the bullies
name somebody else's sarcasm when you be sarcastic yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how the bully don't want to be bullied and all this. So it doesn't work good with me.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have. So I mean, it's What's on Your Mind Wednesday, y'all. So y'all give us a call, let us know what's on your mind, what's popping, what's good. Thank y'all for tagging people. What you just said, communication, man. Like sarcasm is a form or style of communication, right?
It is.
It's not.
It's not.
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm is not a way to communicate.
It is.
Sarcasm is not because a way to communicate is a language.
Sarcasm is a language.
No, inside of the language,
is
they got a word for it. It's not etymology, but inputive. I don't know.
Yeah,
it is a word. I'm trying to think of it. I can't think of what that word is.
It's like
etymology is the root of words, though.
Yes, but
so what is how is sarcasm defined?
It's a portion of the speech, or it's a portion.
That's what I mean. It's like a type of communication.
Yeah.
I don't know if type is the right word.
It is. So you good? Yeah, I'm good.
No, but no, it's like sign language is a type of communication.
Sign language is a language.
Say no. Sign language is.
But you can be sarcastic with your sign language. You get what I'm saying?
You can be sarcastic in anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like inside of the thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. So you got verbal communication, nonverbal communication, written communication, visual communication, digital communication, interpersonal. group, and then mass communication, formal communication, informal.
See, I could have did this somewhere.
You couldn't have.
I could have went to somebody's school.
No, you couldn't have. No.
People.
No.
So these are the types.
Inside of that is where you find sarcasm, heartfelt communication, or
so a type of these are the types, adjective. And then within the type, so sarcasm would be under verbal communication.
Can I just say that?
So it's under verbal, but it's still something though. It's still like a.
It's not a type though. It's like
okay.
It's not like an adjective.
You got that?
Like a noun, then the adjective describes the noun.
I wouldn't want him to be my teacher on this.
You would not want him to be.
No,
you would be educated.
I would not. I would be educated.
You know what? Most students don't want their teacher to be their teacher.
Okay,
let's talk about that.
I like. So who's your favorite teacher? Most students
don't want their teacher to be their teacher. Okay.
Or they'll have more star students. They have more star pupils.
Okay, we're hold
on.
What
happened?
We going up and down.
The cameras.
Yeah. They. It took a while. Big shots out to the Business Talk podcast, man.
Oh my God, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
that was a good one, man.
I finally got my invite.
That was good.
So I honored my invite. I was actually at a thing with my daughter.
Hold on. Let me back you up a little bit because I want to close this loop. Sarcasm is where someone says something intending to convey the opposite of its literal meaning.
Often irony.
Yeah, that's what they say. A form of verbal irony, where someone says something intending to convey the opposite of its literal meaning, often in a mocking or humorous manner. It involves using words to express contempt, ridicule, or scorn, typically with a tone of voice that is exaggerated or insincere. Sarcasm is often employed to make a point, criticize something, or humorously point out the absurdities in a situation. However, it can sometimes be misinterpreted.
Just in case.
However, it can sometimes be misinterpreted if the tone or context is not clear, leading to misunderstanding.
And my body was refreshed.
All right. So that's what that was. So yeah, that's sarcasm. Okay.
Business Talk podcast was like, it was amazing.
Can you put your mic back? Can you put the other mic back?
She told me
that one is that because
she said she ain't like our sound.
Yeah, we can hear that, but we couldn't hear no sound in that other one. So
because somebody need to turn it up on the fader. Don't worry about it. It'll be all right in Christmas.
All right.
Oh, Business Talk podcast. It was amazing.
Put both of them there just in case.
It was
to us.
It was one of the things
they say they can hear you now
in the community where a podcast reached out. Y'all know Sandra Davis, Sharonda Davis. Yeah. I always do that. I be trying to say your name wrong.
She say it's fine now. That sounds good.
But so long story short, it was an amazing.
Don't
podcast.
Make this long story short, because that was a nice.
It was
giving it up too, man.
Yeah.
Sharonda got a way of bringing it out you.
Yeah,
because she brought it out you too.
Yeah, I look back. That's what I did. Yeah. I look back at the other and the past podcast.
Yeah,
you guys.
She got.
And you know what happened is you start talking to your homegirl.
Yeah.
You start talking to the girl next door, and then she kind of, and then she's open too. Yeah. So it's not like
her curiosity. See, that's one of the things I learned too about doing interviews is you have to just have natural curiosity, and her curiosity and the way she frames the conversation, and then because it started out a little choppy, and then she just once y'all found that rhythm and that flow. It was you talking to your homegirl.
It was good.
And you was just giving it up, man.
Oh, I liked it. I did.
So you said something that me and my wife watched it together too.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, we was watching. We was let's check this out. Let's see what Mr. Edmond talking about here tonight. But when you said, you talked about a lot, but one of the things that you said that had us she was in the amen corner was when you said it was talking about gentrification and people coming.
Yes.
And you was we don't have a problem with people coming, but we don't want to move in order for y'all to stay.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I'm like, okay, that's a bar right there because that's true.
And that's where we living at. That's where we at right now.
Because they try and make it seem like,
we're against new people.
We're against new people or white people moving in is oh my God, here they come. They're the enemy. It's we ain't got no problem with you coming. But if I had to move or if I got to move in order for you to stay, That's what the problem is.
That's the problem,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And also, okay,
Yeah.
and
That
we
was,
don't.
I was like, man, I appreciate
And
that.
you know, now this is a Qiana thing. Like, I don't have no problem with you moving in either, right? Just come on in, but then don't try to change the rules of the neighborhood. Also,
everything. Yeah, you
like,
changing
now,
I mean, it's a give and take because I look at it like this.
I'm looking.
When people come, they come with their contribution.
Okay.
And whatever that contribution may be, that's what people had to offer. And we got to just accept it. You know what I mean? Because like Enoch Davis, he wasn't from here.
Oh, so that's the other part of it.
But that's
so,
not what I'm saying.
No, that's a different conversation.
That's a whole different conversation.
That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation.
You start with me just
but you did like you was on a train, but then I guess
that's a different
you jumped off and went the other way.
We're talking about the neighborhood.
We're talking about when people come to the neighborhood and then start like got a problem with me sitting in my yard playing music, and I've been sitting in my yard playing music for 35 years. Well, and all my neighbors is cool. And all my neighbors is cool with me sitting in my yard playing music. But now we got a new neighbor that come in and say, hey, can y'all turn that down?
And they don't usually say, can you?
Yeah.
They like
turn that down.
Like, you need to turn that down.
Yeah. And then they start hitting you with, the rules.
Hey,
but it's like we got a culture over here where like we know that what that rule is, but
those manners.
No, that's not manners.
Those is manners. You been those bad manners. That ain't necessary.
On whose part?
On who part?
The new ones? Because if you drove by and you saw me sitting out here playing my music and now you live here
every day.
Yeah, pretty much. I got
same value.
I got a neighbor that do that. Every day, but they, when they put their music out on the sidewalk, we sit on the porch.
Your apple juice.
I do, dog.
But you hear me though? Oh yeah, that's right.
I do.
Yeah, you need.
But you hear what I'm saying though?
And I'm saying, like, and I'm not 100%. And I see where you're going, Jabbar, with this.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And I called you Jabbar.
So where are you going with this?
Yeah, he's trying to tell you to be neighborly to everybody.
Exactly. I thank you.
But,
look. You be saying not turn it down, turn it off. That's
that be the thing is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then, like family gatherings been at your house every Sunday. Now you gotta. Oh, you can't park right here. First of all, this is a public street.
Public.
Yes.
But you gotta watch what you do on these public streets,
But if you parking, you parking.
I mean, I agree. The point I was making was, good people have come here from other locations and contributed tremendously.
Yeah, that was another part of it. So let's go ahead and have that conversation now, right? And let's see if we can do it in 4 minutes, and if we can't, we'll do it when we come back, because I think it's an important topic of discussion, because it's been coming up recently with people who are being active in the community.
Yeah, and not from here.
And they're not from the community. I mean, they from the community at this point. If you've been here, but they're not. You wasn't born here, and so.
But you're of the community.
Yeah, and you're doing stuff in the community. But that's been one of the things. Like I saw 2 instances of that. One instance was with, matter of fact, it was with Esther. Somebody said, well, she lived, across the bridge somewhere.
Everybody live across the bridge.
So she shouldn't, like, she ain't from here or whatever. And then with Carla B, because she moved here in 96, which is 30 years ago now, that was one of the criticisms of her, is like, well, she ain't from here. But I'm like, okay. She been here 30 years, and when did right?
When do you become from
when do you become from here?
Well, I don't know. Like, when do you become a part of the community? Like,
when do you become a part of the community?
Right. And then I think it's different for everybody when you start to actually be an activist for your community, whatever that looks like. Make your part. When you feel like, when you're ready to fight for something you believe in and making a good change.
Right.
When you're standing up for people who've been here all their lives, when they can't do it for themselves, you're a part of this community. And like, for somebody to question Carla.
Yeah, they really did. It
but like, I mean, it's a stretch.
They was like, she ain't from here.
Hold on.
Yeah. and y'all know one and only Carla B was, one of the co-hosts of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. You know what I mean?
What I want to, because this is something that I've noticed, right?
Okay.
Since I got active in the community, there's always dividers.
Okay,
Right?
there's things that
That
separate
people,
us,
and
yeah.
that people intentionally use to separate us.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
So, like for me, for instance, I'm from the community. I'm born and raised here, but I have not necessarily always lived on the right side of the tracks.
Okay.
And
Right.
that's what will be a reason for them to shun me. Oh, well, that's just old hoodlum from the street. That X, Y, Z, whatever. And for a person who just moved here, who they may not have that kind of tea on or that type of dirt on, the closest thing to them is you ain't from here.
Right.
So that's the only
That's their divider.
That's okay, I got
That's
you.
So
their
when
divider for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you're looking for something negative, you're gonna pull whatever it is, whatever you can find.
And if you know you was here.
How you gonna talk about relationships and you ain't married?
Okay, yeah, you're gonna find that.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, you talk about money and you ain't rich.
Okay, yeah.
It's because
You just
how you
nobody
gonna
trying to
feed
tell
the homeless and you ain't
everybody.
hungry? Yeah.
but
Because they want you to be hungry if you're feeding the homeless. They don't want you to be well fed either. I
oh
learned that too.
Lord. And that's another divider.
Yeah.
Income, money, they getting money. Oh, they keep getting them grants. Every grant go to them. And for me,
Yeah.
I learned that, you just gotta, it's like I hate to say this, but it's like white noise.
Sarcasm.
White noise.
You know white noise?
Yeah.
When
It's
it
that, yeah, I used to work in the call center.
Yeah,
they used to feed us white noise. Yeah.
I don't know if that was racist. Is that systematic racism, white noise? I don't know, but long story short,
noise too.
The white noise in the community space sometimes is about where you from.
Yeah.
What you got or who you is.
Well, what didn't they used to say? It ain't where you from, it's where you at. That wasn't that a thing at one point?
Yeah.
Remember that was like a part of the lexicon? You
Yeah.
know, it ain't where you from, it's where you at.
Yeah, they use that until it didn't fit their,
the agenda. Yeah.
So you know what? We're gonna get back with y'all like 7 minutes after the hour.
Who is them? We was just talking about some of them. Sharonda want us to name names, y'all.
Oh, look.
Who is them? They aren't making moves. They just making noise.
Haters. Okay, so we'll be back. Stay tuned. Tag a friend, tell a friend, and we'll be back.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Would create a new French law, and the senator wanted to translate Diana's poem into French so that he could use it as part of his argument.
Now, you know why a law had to be made is in 1850, the French made a law in French museums belong to the French state.
In 2002, the French Parliament voted to return Sarah's remains as a duty of memory, and Diana was chosen as one of the South African delegates to receive the body.
Hello, I'm Gabe Ortiz, and this is WEDU Arts Plus. Based out of St. Pete, the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is a morning radio show about hip-hop life and urban culture. Meet the hosts who inform and empower their listeners.
I'm Jabbar Edman. I go by Mr. Edman. My role, I'm a host and I'm co-founder.
My name is Brother John Muhammad, Your Brother John, YourBrotherJohn.com. And my role on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is host or co-host.
I just go by Qiana. Sometimes you may hear the guys call me Q. I may say Q just depending on my personality that day. And I'm the female of the crew. All right, I think I keep balance when you look at the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. So that's my role.
And I'm Bruce Moore Jr. A lot of people do know Bruce Moore Jr., obviously being born and raised here and going to school here, but there's many more people that know Reno.
St. Pete is small, and so the good things and bad things that come with a small city, everybody knowing each other, of course, would be one of the pluses.
My neighbors were not only just my neighbors, they became my family.
Trying to put that back now, like really getting back to a place where we know our neighbors and we look out for each other. It was a St. Pete that existed, south of Central, and then there was another St. Pete that existed north of Central and downtown. It was a struggle then, and I think it's still, somewhat a struggle for Black people in the city of St. Pete.
Even with every step of progress we make, it's still a struggle to implement that progress.
Did y'all hear about the weed college, the first cannabis college
in Orlando?
Talk to him, Florida itself.
No, yeah, I've been looking at it.
This is serious, y'all.
Over a year ago.
If you got the charges, go and get the degrees, King. You got years of experience, man. It ain't like you come into a classroom with no data.
Elon Musk said that a drug dealer knows how.
I'm Amy Goodman. The U.S. Senate has approved a $95 billion foreign and military aid package to help Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. The bill also included a provision that could lead to a ban on TikTok. This is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Mr. President, today, the Senate sends a unified message to the entire world. America will always defend democracy in its hour of need. We tell our allies, we will stand with you. We tell our adversaries, don't mess with us. We tell the world, we will do everything to defend democracy and our way of life.
The final vote in the Senate was 79-18. Senators voting no included 15 Republicans, as well as Democratic Senators Jeff Merkley and Peter Welch, and Independent Senator Bernie Sanders.
We are now in the absurd situation where Israel is using U.S. military assistance to block the delivery of U.S. humanitarian aid to Palestinians. If that is not crazy, I don't know what is, but it's also a clear violation of U.S. law. Given that reality, we should not today even be having this debate. It is illegal to continue current military aid to Israel, let alone send another $9 billion with no strings attached.
The Senate approved sending more money to Israel on the same day. United Nations called for an independent probe into the discovery of over 300 bodies in a mass grave at the Nasser Medical Complex following Israel's siege on the hospital. Ravina Shamdasani is a spokesperson for the UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights.
We are horrified also by the destruction of Al-Nasser Medical Complex and Al-Shifa Medical Complex and the reports of the discovery of mass graves in and around facilities. And we call for independent, effective, transparent investigations into the deaths. Given the prevailing climate of impunity, this should include international investigators. Hospitals are entitled to very special protection under international humanitarian law. And let's be clear, the intentional killing of civilians, detainees, and others who are hors de combat is a war crime.
On Tuesday, U.S. State Department spokesperson Vedant Patel refused to support the UN call for a probe into the mass graves in Gaza. Patel was questioned by journalist Saeed Arakat.
More than 300 bodies have been found. The United Nations is asking or calling for an independent investigation. Would you support such an independent investigation?
Right now, Saeed, we are asking for more information.
Right.
That is squarely where we're leaving the conversation. Right. I don't have any details to match, confirm, or offer as it relates to that. We're aware of those reports, and we have asked the government of Israel for additional clarity and information, and that's where I'm at.
In Brooklyn, New York, police arrested as many as 300 Jewish activists who took part in a massive outdoor Passover Seder near the home of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Protesters were calling for the U.S. to stop funding Israel's assault on Gaza. This is Simone Zimmerman of Jewish Voice for Peace.
What does it mean to celebrate a holiday about liberation in a moment in which Palestinian lives and freedom are under their most grave assault since the Nakba of 1948.
Simone Zimmerman was addressing a Seder in the streets. This comes as campus protests continue to spread. At the University of Minnesota, police arrested 9 students who refused to take down a pro-Palestinian encampment. In California, the campus of Cal Poly Humboldt was shut down after students occupied a building. In Massachusetts, officials at Harvard University have closed Harvard Yard ahead of possible protests. Harvard has also suspended the student group Palestine Solidarity Committee. Meanwhile, here in New York, NYU has put up a plywood wall around Gould Plaza where police arrested students on Monday. And students at Columbia University have reportedly been given a deadline to shut down their Gaza Solidarity encampment by this morning. Suspended Barnard College student Sof Ashkenazi spoke on Tuesday.
I cannot and could not stand to be complicit in our university's ongoing support for Israel's genocidal campaign. There are no universities left in Gaza, so we chose to reclaim our university for the people of Palestine.
At Donald Trump's criminal trial in Lower Manhattan, the former publisher of the National Enquirer, David Pecker, had told jurors that he helped Trump's 2016 campaign by killing stories about Trump's extramarital affairs while running fake stories about Trump's opponents. Pecker testified he began helping Trump after a meeting at Trump Tower in 2015 where the future president asked him to, quote, help the campaign, unquote. Pecker went on to describe the paper's so-called catch and kill policy that involved buying, then burying negative articles about Trump. Pecker said, quote, I said I would be your eyes and ears, unquote. Pecker also admitted the National Enquirer made up a story attacking Trump's rival Ted Cruz by falsely linking his Cuban-born father to Lee Harvey Oswald and the Kennedy assassination. Meanwhile, the judge presiding over Trump's trial, Juan Merchan, is expected to rule soon on whether to hold Trump in contempt of court for attacking witnesses and jurors. On Tuesday, the judge lashed out at Trump's lawyer, saying, quote, you're losing all credibility with the court. In other legal news, the U.S. Supreme Court hears arguments today on Idaho's near-total abortion ban. The Biden administration sued Idaho, saying the ban violates EMTALA, the Emergency Medical Treatment and Active Labor Act, which the Justice Department says protects the rights of pregnant people to get the emergency medical care they need. In Pennsylvania, Democratic Congressmember Summer Lee has defeated Bhavini Patel. Lee was one of the first members of Congress to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. On Tuesday night, Lee wrote on social media, quote, opposing genocide is good politics and good policy. Hashtag ceasefire now. Her opponent had been backed by billionaire Republican mega donor Jeffrey Yass, who's an ally of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Summer Lee spoke to supporters last night in Pittsburgh. Heat clause. Tennessee teachers to carry concealed guns on the grounds of public schools. Protesters inside the Tennessee House began chanting "Blood on your hands" after the Republican leadership cut off debate ahead of the vote. The U.S. Justice Department has agreed to pay nearly $139 million to more than 100 gymnasts who accuse the FBI of grossly mishandling sexual abuse claims against Larry Nassar, the former doctor for Team USA Gymnastics. The FBI's neglect led to Nassar abusing or assaulting over 100 young gymnasts. Between the time the FBI first heard of the accusations in 2015 until Nassar's arrest the following year, he's currently serving a 60-year sentence. And Mumia Abu-Jamal turns 70 today. The imprisoned journalist and former Black Panther has been jailed for over 42 years. Supporters of Mumia Abu-Jamal are planning to rally near Philadelphia City Hall today, where they plan to deliver petitions collected in France calling for his release. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman in New York with Democracy Now! Co-host Juan Gonzalez in Chicago. Hi, Juan.
And just like that,
we back.
We're back.
Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Qiana.
And I'm the one and only Mr. Edmond.
This program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That?
See That.
And we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool, because
smart
is the new gangster.
Baby.
And if you don't know,
now you know. No.
Yes.
No. So yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. We got the spring marathon going on too. You got the thing right there, Mr. Evan. You want to tell them about the spring marathon?
Spring marathon.
Tell them about the spring marathon, bro.
99 Gems radio station has launched its special spring marathon for this year. We're calling on all our supporters, sponsors, families, and friends to make a donation for this special marathon. Help us reach our goal of $10,000. That's $10,000. The marathon will run until April 30th. Help us keep the radio running and your favorite program on there. That is 99 Gems special spring marathon now until April 30th. Donate and receive a CD of your favorite show on demand. You can call 813-419-2035. That's 813-419-2035. 99 Gems, the bird.
Right on. Appreciate that, man. And so we was talking before the break, we was talking about, and this is what's on your mind Wednesday. So y'all can give us a call, 727-637-2416. Share what's on your mind. We were talking about community activism and those who are active in the community, but they're not, quote unquote, from here. And that's been something that's been a topic of conversation, and we want to
for decades.
Yeah. It didn't just start with us.
This is not a new conversation.
Yeah.
The Hatfields and McCoys was going through
the
same problem.
You ain't from here. So what's your angle?
And I think my look at this as an outsider. I'm an inside outsider.
Okay.
So I think I gravitate towards the outsiders.
Yep.
Because oftentimes, we get treated like outsiders by our own.
Even if you is from here.
Even if you're from here.
Yeah.
Stop playing.
Yeah.
And so I think, like I said last night on Business Talk podcast, is that some of the best things, some of the greatest people, in this community ain't from here.
Yeah, you mentioned before the break Enoch Davis.
Right? Enoch Davis, he wasn't from here. The man moved here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody
and got buildings here named after him.
Bishop Sykes.
I think it.
Carla Bristol.
Yeah. Clarence Williams over at Mount Zion.
Miss Teresa.
Yeah.
I think
that's right.
Just run the list.
That's right.
I think it's situational.
Okay.
Because some people come here and not doing good stuff. You know what I mean?
Not from here and not doing good.
Right. So I think it's situational. It's per person. Like when you're looking at it, like every criminal don't end up turning into a good person, and every good person is not always good. You know what I mean?
I'm following. I was kind of with you. I was following, but then you kind of lost me with the criminal thing.
No, when I'm saying it, like, so when Jabbar said he was on the other side of the track, right?
Okay.
At one point in time, and now he over here.
Okay.
Everybody on the other side of the track don't always come back on the good side. That's what I was saying. You know,
it's not good and bad, just the other.
Yeah.
I mean, tomatoes and
people ain't bad.
Some of them
we fighting stereotypes.
No,
that's what we're here to do. So we fighting stereotypes.
We can fight stereotypes all day, but
that's why I said cross the tracks. See?
Okay, you can say cross the tracks, but
you
some
say
of them
good and evil.
But some of them are good and some of them are evil.
Yeah, and people on both sides of the track though, depending on where you stand.
Good and evil,
and that's what I was saying.
Track.
Okay, that's exactly what I was saying.
I'm just fighting stereotypes at all costs.
Okay. And so and we had Coach D. I can't find her comment, but she was saying she's not from here.
Yes,
but she's
I
been
got it right here.
Okay,
I got it right
thank
here.
you.
Coach D. Culture is. Oh no, that one is the next one. I was once an outsider. My support wasn't welcome at first, and
there you go.
And I feel and I want the people to really hear this, because as a person who lived and born and raised here, I felt the same way.
That your help,
that my help wasn't welcome.
Yeah.
And that's why, when Sister Humphrey said, "Thank you for allowing me to serve,"
that resonates.
That hit me so hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dang, people ain't being allowed to serve. People want to give back, and they're being shunned and turned down because they're not from here.
You don't. So you're from here, and this is a trust thing. When you're letting people into your house, you got to trust that they're gonna do what's right. You don't want to let a fox in the
hen house.
Yeah. Because
don't let the foxes in the hen house.
Like, let's call
Says
it
the fox.
So don't act like you haven't been bamboozled and lied to and tricked.
You're right.
So what happens is
from here.
It don't matter. But whenever you're dating, there's usually some type of guards up till you to somebody proves that they're worthy of your trust.
Michelle says, when you a native, born and raised, helping to make my community better through activism and volunteerism. That's Michelle.
Yeah.
And I agree. 100%. You gotta keep the foxes out the hen house.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta, it's something to
but that's what I'm saying. I guess the point that we're making. You got some people that's from here that's bigger foxes than people that's not.
There is.
Well, how do you
like they most slippery? They harder.
How do you tell the truth?
By the actions, by what they're doing.
But you'll see,
and if you see somebody that's not from here, but they're doing amazing work and they having an impact, like you were saying, it's used to divide us.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned it too, Qiana, it's like another one of them critiques when you start talking about, hey, like the only thing that you can say about my work is that I'm not from here, so that makes you question my motive if you are that person, but. Once you see the actions and you see, the track record, if they got a history of consistently showing up for our community and they're not from here, but then you got somebody who's on the sidelines who's from here with their hands crossed and they folded saying, okay, well.
Don't mess with them.
Yeah.
They ain't from here.
Well, usually,
but they're not doing anything.
But those people right there, again, are haters, right?
Yeah.
And they know that if that's the only negativity that you can find, then you don't want your card to be pulled.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah. That's right.
Say there is a difference between neighbors and invaders.
Neighbors and invaders.
And you don't know the difference until
by the actions, because a neighbor going to act different than an invader.
But not at the beginning.
But neighbors,
yeah, because in order to invade, they got to be nice.
Yeah, right. Neighbors.
So they got to be neighborly to get in.
Neighbors are invaders.
So go ahead, say more.
Because
for the radio audience, Qiana just laughed and she put her hand on her head and dropped her head slightly to the right.
Hold on, let me explain.
I'm giving you the picture of what's happening here for the radio audience.
They can see.
For those who can't see, she just dropped her head slightly to the right and put her right hand on her head and just shaking it and laughing. Go ahead, Mr. Evans.
So what I was saying was that neighbors are. It didn't come out right, dog.
No, it came out right.
Neighbors. Neighbors are invaders. No, what I'm saying is. What I'm saying is that when somebody moves in,
Niecy, what's up?
They are in a lot of ways invading your space or the community, and it's up to them to be neighborly. That's what I mean. And because there is no easy way to invade, right? You don't
invade has a negative connotation, I'd say.
It does, but the reality
is there a positive invasion?
Move in.
So
instead of invading the neighborhood, they're moving into the neighborhood.
So let me tell y'all, if y'all don't know, Mr. Edmund is good at cleaning up his stuff. If you get called out before he said his statement,
no, that's real.
Okay.
Hey, good morning, Nancy. How you doing?
Good morning, Nancy.
Nancy, what's going on? What's new? What's popping?
So invade, enter a place, situation, or sphere of activity in large numbers. Especially with intrusive effects.
See what I'm saying? And whether you want to be an invader or not, that's what you're doing. Y'all don't know. I read the
encroach or intrude.
But listen, I read dictionaries.
I believe.
I used to just read them.
Yeah,
no, so listen, nobody
like
ever.
It's a novel.
So listen, no, you're.
That's why I said neighbors do
invade.
That's why I'm saying neighbors do invade. There's no ever nice way to say it. When you come like they're coming. It's an invasion. It's just, we
So do you think that our community is being invaded right now?
Yes. Or invaded or inundated or encroached upon.
Or all of the above.
Yeah,
right?
you can say it how you want to. And
Okay.
it's up to them when they get here to be neighborly.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And that's what make you a neighbor. Your actions, what you do, put in community, hood, back in the hood or whatever, Brother John.
Put neighbor back in the hood. I think this might be you, B. We got a caller.
Caller,
It's what's on your mind. It's what's on your mind Wednesday. We talking about neighbors versus invaders. Introduce yourself.
Hey, man, it's King Jab. I'm calling in, man, invade. Hey, y'all check it out now. And y'all know my views is my views. So the first thing, me and my partner was having a conversation, and it was about people moving here, and it was about them being active in the community, and then they go into the stage where they want to make St. Pete just like back home.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But you left back home to come to St. Pete.
Okay. I hear that.
So that's a trap that we also try not to fall into.
Okay. I hear that. I hear that absolutely.
And
good comments.
And then my conspiracy theory.
Okay.
It is absolutely an invasion. When you look into the others that are moving into our community, you don't see overweight retirees. You see a lot of slim, walking the dog, ex-military style. So yeah, that's what's moving in our community. Ain't no overweight fat boys. No, they got the military back from the pull-ups. Pay attention who moving next to you. Because when it really go down, that's who gonna come out the house with their full body armor on. They ready.
So thank you
I
for
hear
that,
I appreciate that.
Y'all
King
make sure
Jab, the
y'all
voice of the people.
Tune into Voice of the People every Thursday on 99 Jams.
Tasha Lee, what's good?
I got a couple comments.
Okay.
What's the Arnesia say? What's the repercussions they are dealt if they aren't neighborly? Not many except shunning them.
Okay.
Yubi says neighbors invest in the community and the neighborhood. Invaders take from or exploit the community and neighborhoods. I got something to say about that.
So say it.
So I think whether you are a investor or not, that is not necessarily what is neighborly.
Okay.
Right? Investing in a lot of ways is a self-serving endeavor.
You tough. Yeah.
My investments can benefit the community, true indeed, but I didn't do it to benefit the community. I did it to help my bottom line. And I can be neighborly while I do that. Or I can be I can be a Byron or Baron.
Gabe, what's good?
And take over. And don't be neighborly and still do the same thing.
That's why I say it's situational. It just all depends. And this is why people guard is up.
Yeah.
This is why people be like, hey.
That's correct though.
And look, you just looking because you just never know what the intentions is. When you meet somebody, nobody ever show you their true face when you first meet them. Everybody give them their
especially if they don't mean well.
Right.
Yeah.
If they don't
They can't if they don't mean well, they're not gonna walk up to you and say, hey, I'm here to take over your community. Just get ready. I'm here.
Wipe you down.
Yeah, I'm here to gentrify your community. Like said no gentrifier ever. They just do it.
No, they do.
Some of them do.
They come in and tell you that we here to gentrify.
Some will be like,
They just don't say it that way. They say
how do they say it?
We
so
come
we
to redevelop.
Oh, that's the word for gentrification.
It's a redevelopment plan.
Okay, and then when you double click on it and read the plan, you see gentrification.
Yeah, because
like how we've been looking up words. So they say redevelopment, but once you get down into the nitty gritty,
it depends on
what synonym is gentrification.
I think it depends on how cocky they are.
Yeah,
because some people look how Donald Trump came in.
I'm here to take it.
Yeah,
he was an invader.
And he didn't care. And he didn't try to hide it.
Yeah.
He walked in and said it. Boom, boom, boom. And then you had somebody else that be like, hey.
You're right. Nisi say they down at City Hall getting it done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it happened, man. And that's what the push is to get us to come to City Hall because the neighbors need to show up.
Yeah, you can say your intentions determines the difference. And I think I unite with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, unite with that.
Because
but intentions are not usually clear though.
And I'm going to tell you, like they say, beware of enemies bearing gifts or something like that. It's a saying. from the Romans.
Okay.
Because of what happened with the Trojan horse.
Okay.
So you beware of people bearing gifts. And a lot of times the gift they're giving us is saying we're serving. We're here to help. How can I help you?
Yeah.
And help usually hurts.
Wow.
And this is why everybody guard is up at the beginning until we realize there's no poison in the food. I ain't eating your food.
until you taste it and you don't die.
Right.
I'm gonna watch you eat it first.
Right. And then tell
and if you eat it and you don't die, then okay, I might.
I might.
He said I still don't want it. But I'm definitely not eating it if you ain't eating it yourself.
So I think this is always gonna be a problem because
you're right though.
This is always, and until you prove
Inside
your
outside.
intentions, then people are going to question what you're doing anyway.
And they should.
They should.
So we had a lakeside chat with Mr. Bennett. Shout out to Rodney Bennett. Travel safe too. I think he might be heading back to Ghana today.
Yes, great
or either yesterday. Great conversation. And it's coming up with this question that Ernisa Barnwell asked. She said, what's the repercussions that they are dealt if they aren't neighborly? And what I was reminded of when I saw that question was Mr. Bennett. He was saying, like, in order to have a community, you got to have community standards. And when you have community standards, you have to have the ability to enforce those standards. And so I think that's another relevant question. Like, okay,
what are our community
standards? And then how do we get to a place where we can deal out repercussions if those standards aren't followed?
To be honest, we usually don't have any real serious repercussions.
Yeah.
Like we'll talk about it in your circle.
Yeah.
Right. And then maybe a couple of people might not do business with that person. Maybe you might be out of office.
Okay.
But people have a short-term memory.
Yeah.
Like once it's no longer affecting them right then, they forget about it. You will see where somebody has done something wrong.
Damn, what's good?
And then a few months back in, they right back in the middle of the hype of everything.
So there are no repercussions.
Yeah, there's not no real repercussions.
Not long-term and sustainable.
Long-term.
Well, I agree. We have a poorly defined community as it stands right now.
Okay.
Right. We do have a community. We do have those things, but it's poorly defined because it depends on what neighborhood you in.
The standards, you mean?
Yeah, some neighborhoods ain't going for just no anything.
Yeah.
And just know anybody ain't moving in.
Okay.
That don't qualify for every street.
Qiana, another one of them reactions. What was that, Qiana?
Who's stopping somebody from moving in? Nobody.
Man. Some people got some horror stories. I don't witness it.
Yubi said our standards are implied, not enforced.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's really what.
But that's one of the issues, though.
And then we're forgiving
because if somebody bucked the standard and there's no enforcement, then it encourages standard bucking.
Right. And
Like,
then
okay, like that rule really ain't a rule, so I don't have to follow it.
Right.
Then I ain't following it. If I don't agree with it, but if I agree with it and it's benefiting me and I'm seeing, how following this rule is contributing to help, and I'm that person, then you'll continue to carry it. But if you're an invader and you have a rule in place and you test the limits and you see that there's no consequence for testing the limit, you're going to keep going.
Yeah, that's human nature. So if there's a rule in our community, say no barbecuing on Saturdays.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I say I take out my barbecue and I barbecue on Saturday.
Yeah.
There is no mechanisms in place,
right?
Unless you live in a deed restricted community.
Okay.
Because
like, how can you stop? And I hear that loud and clear. And we saw examples of people trying to implement those standards. That was a Lakewood Estates thing. I got in trouble with the leadership of Lakewood Estates back in the early 10s. I think maybe 2011, 10, 11. But that's when they were chasing barbecue smoke. Like, it was a brother that was, remember that? And then she pull up saying, hey, you can't be barbecuing out here on this day. And he like, what, man, he like bucking the standard. Yeah. And she got all huffy about it and like really made a big deal.
Yeah, and it was all on TV and stuff.
Yeah.
He's burning barbecue. I can smell it from a mile away.
But that's a great question. I think when we start really talking about enforcing standards, because that's another, when we talk about neighborhood cleanups, right? Like throwing litter on the side of the road.
Speaking of neighborhood cleanup, we got one coming this weekend, Child's Park.
Right on.
We're having a neighborhood cleanup, wellness walk, and yoga.
Man, he just gonna Elmo me without even saying Elmo.
It was a segue. I just took the opportunity.
Yes, sir, you did.
Because we talk about neighborhood standards. One of the standards in our neighborhood is that we get out and clean.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a.
So how do we get to a place? This was what Reno, King Reno, when we had our town hall, he put it into the suggestions was like we need to get rid of the need for neighborhood cleanups. So we doing a neighborhood cleanup because the neighborhood, because people not. So how do we get to a place where our neighborhood is clean and we don't need to have cleanups?
I think I get the premise.
Yeah.
Because we come from neighborhoods that's messy, but I mean that's how stuff stay clean. You clean them.
Yeah. There's never a time when you don't clean it.
So this is what
the everyday struggle.
So this is what it looks like.
So when you go through those clean neighborhoods, if
somebody cleaned it.
Yeah, that's right.
And whether they organize a neighborhood cleanup or not, somebody cleaned it.
Or if they organize to such a degree where
you do it this week, I do it this weekend. We don't got to do it together.
Or they said, "Hey, city, y'all need to make sure that y'all here twice a week,
clean up my mess."
Yeah.
Or, hey,
yeah,
work this out.
Yeah,
and
because there's some neighborhoods where people ain't doing neighborhoods cleanups and they clean because they have a relationship and an understanding with the city's sanitation department that says our neighborhood better be clean.
And they politically active, so when they make the call, oh, there's a mattress on the side of the road.
Yeah.
An hour later, that mattress getting picked up. Not 3 days later. And now the kids done drug the mattress into the alley. It ain't on the side of the road no more.
And then the other part of that is you've done that so consistently that now you don't even have to call. When they come through and they see a mattress on the side of the road, they gonna get it. They gonna get it before
caller,
you can
maybe
even call.
they'll let you talk because they won't let me get a word in.
It's sarcastic. It's coming out of bloodline.
Bum, 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 bum.
Go ahead. They shut up.
Bum, bum, bum.
Go ahead,
What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
When it comes to cleanup, it's more of a respect thing.
Okay.
We got to respect our community enough not to throw the trash down there in the first place. We don't got to ask nobody to come pick it up.
That's right.
In those neighborhoods that you see where it be clean, they don't throw the trash down there. So it ain't that nobody coming every 5 minutes to pick it up. They don't throw it down there in the first place. They put trash where it go.
Yeah.
They take this to the dump. Hey, I'm not going to just throw this in the backyard. I'm going to take this to the dump or get so-and-so to take this to the dump.
Yeah.
In Canada, in part of Texas, I done been all through Texas. Man, nobody don't just throw trash. Like how we just stop our car, just throw it out.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They ain't nobody finna just stop their car and dump their trash in the street.
I hear that. And that's what we're talking about with standards, right? But I ain't gonna say no more until Qiana get to speak.
I ain't got nothing to say no more.
I appreciate that, UB. You right on. You right.
Yeah, we just gotta respect it more.
Right on. Right on. Thank you for calling.
No, but you know what this is? This is what America looks like. When you give people options to freely do what they want, then that's what they do. And then we look at different countries where like there's a strict dictatorship where they say this is how it is.
The standard. This is the rule.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what we have a problem with here is that we make rules and then don't enforce them. And then Jabbar would say rules are made to be broken. It's so when you look at it, this is why you have to have a neighborhood cleanup, because you make the rule in your neighborhood that no trash, somebody's gonna challenge your rule.
Yeah.
And everything.
And that's what we're getting back to is like what type of enforcement mechanisms do we have as a community to be able to say like, okay, you breaking this, you bucking the standard. You're not towing the line.
Talked about the church and they kicked the lady out because she didn't follow the rules of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was with it. They had their rules and they stood by it.
Right.
Oh, you talking about the stripper lady?
Yeah, the
quit. Dance lady?
Well, they didn't call her no stripper.
Yeah.
I just imagine she was a dancer and they ain't want no money.
She divorced her husband and all that other stuff.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I just imagine they did. Oh, she a stripper. We don't want no money. But
So
listen,
that's what's on your mind Wednesday, y'all. You're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, and we just talking about what's on our mind. The conversation has taken a few turns, and we here for. We talking about community standards and the lack thereof, and how you enforce them in communities.
I got a question. Well, this ain't a question. This is a comment.
Okay.
all punishments aren't punitive.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
When you talk about enforcement,
yeah,
we've been beat down so much. The first thing enforcement comes is a punitive.
Is a punishment.
Is a punishment.
Yeah.
And in other societies, they seen where it was more beneficial to be rewarding of good behavior than punitive of bad behavior. And that's a thing that we might need to think of when we're trying to think of concepts and ways to improve our community, to improve it. Think of ways to incentivize good behavior.
Okay.
That's what the American government does with taxes. One hand, they incentivize you to invest and make money, and then the other hand, they hit you across the head if you don't pay them.
Okay.
But then if you use those incentives, they're so good, you will pay nothing.
Right.
The incentives are that great. And that's what we got to figure out ways in our community how to incentivize
the behaviors that we want, and then highlight and recognize and reward those who are doing it, so that you become one of those who wants to strive to hold on.
I have the best neighborhood because you got the best neighborhood
Yeah.
sign,
Right.
or whatever.
Or my yard, your yard is pretty. I want my yard to be pretty too. I'm trying to make sure that my block is, as
and
clean
then on
as,
the flip side, they be like, now you're making people jealous. Like the people, like you, there's no winning.
Yeah.
It is always. It don't matter what you do. Somebody's gonna find something
Mm.
wrong with it.
Nah, there you go.
No,
you're right though. That yard thing be serious.
Good morning,
I
Stephanie.
mean, like when Cat Williams came, and it's just kind of sidebar. Like, remember when Cat Williams came out, and they was like, they ain't said nothing, so it must be true.
Okay.
And then if you say a hit dog or holler, like you.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So if you don't say nothing, it's a problem, and if you do say something, it's a problem. So it's just a problem. Period.
Speaking of hit dogs hollering,
Talk to me about
did y'all
hit
hear
dogs.
about Kanye West Yee new album or a new song?
No,
No, a little.
no. Let's and I'm glad you. The great segue,
Did we talk
man.
about the TikTok man?
Great
talk about
segue.
nothing.
But before we talk about the TikTok ban, I want to I ask y'all. Like, I need to be caught up on Ikes. I got to Ike y'all some questions about
All right,
about
NBA
these.
young boy.
I don't know. That ain't what I was going.
But that's
Ask y'all.
yeah, he got indicted for that.
For saying ask y'all?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But go ahead.
Go
We
ahead.
ain't gonna stop your thought.
Nah, I don't want to go to jail.
No, you're not gonna go to jail. He was pretending he was a doctor, and when he called, he said, "I asked y'all to fulfill this prescription." It said, "I asked,"
Okay.
and this is how they really knew that he wasn't a doctor by his slang, even though he had like the wrong phone number for. And
Man, I think these people be lying. They just
no.
Okay, no, I just didn't know the story. Yeah.
You heard NBA YoungBoy talk, but go ahead.
No, so the question I got is about like these beefs. I don't know if we talked about it. I missed a couple shows. I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
y'all.
You did.
But did we have conversations about
We
them beefs
talked
a little
about it, but
bit?
let's go run it. Cause
No, I
just
just need to know what's happening. So I know it was Kendrick Lamar and
Drake
and
J. Cole.
and J. Cole, him in the world. And the J. Cole thing, like I appreciated J. Cole. I know we talked about that. Juan DaCosta, he was like saying that, but now it's like Chris Brown.
And Quavo.
What's that? What's
A girl.
What's kind of the backstory on
The
that?
girl. They mess with the same girl.
It's a hip hop. It's a hip hop.
Okay.
It's a hip hop civil war going on. And it is.
And Chris Brown.
It's being fueled. It's been fueled by egos, right, and machoism, but it's being funded and propelled by corporations.
Right.
But it's not even just machoism, like you would say, because Taylor Swift did one to Kim Kardashian.
So she
And
took
that's-
it too.
But it's bravado. That's machoism. It's bravado.
So
Listen, but-
Taylor Swift is beefing with Kim Kardashian.
And she did it, and I tried to listen,
It was
but
a
her
stop.
song was so boring.
Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Because you're not a Swiftie.
No, I listened to her music.
Please,
but this
Swifties,
But
don't
then,
attack.
but then here's the
Don't
thing.
attack.
I can say, hey,
Joe,
come on,
get on here.
I like some of her music.
Send them numbers up because there's a bunch of them. We calling out the Swifties. What y'all want to do? We beefing. We finna beef with the Swifties.
Yeah. Take that.
Y'all know our page monetized, right? Let's start a beef with the Swifties.
But see, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what they doing,
but
right?
that's
That's how kind of how it's happening, though.
yes,
Because it's been so
I hear that.
entertaining
and it's been incentivized. See, I was just talking about the incentivization.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we want to be entertained, right? We just don't want it to leave the entertainment portion of it. Like,
that's
keep
right.
it on the track.
Entertainment level, yeah.
I mean, people are still being entertained with a little bloodbath.
No.
Come on, go back to the Roman.
No, that's not what
go
we're
to
going.
MMA right now.
Yeah, people watch boxing.
They want to see blood.
They watching blood, and that was what the criticism of the J. Cole and Kendrick was like. You know, they want to see blood, and he like, man, I ain't trying to do that.
But people don't want. So,
I ain't trying to feed into
apologize and be a man.
So let's say we want to see blood. Like if they get in the boxing ring, boom, boom, but we don't want nobody to die.
Yeah, I mean,
see, you walking a thin line.
Yeah,
people die.
But we don't want them to die.
But it happened.
And so seeing that, how do you get it again? Going back to like, okay, we see the problem. How do you solve it? What do you do to address it? You know what I'm saying?
You got to reverse incentivize good behavior. Because we reward them by even talking about it. We reward them by listening to it. That's the same thing when we watch the inappropriate stuff on social media.
Okay.
And we talk about it, we be hating on it, or we comment on it. But what we just did is helped it grow.
Okay.
We just gave it a one kick up on the algorithm.
By even acknowledging that it's happening and that it's going on.
Engaging with it. And then we have reverse incentivized that bad behavior.
Wow. There's so much to it. So the other question that I had was about Rick Ross was beefing with somebody too?
With Drake.
Okay, that's why you said Drake kind of with everybody. And then what you think about the AI, Tupac and Snoop? Is that going to? I didn't hear it. I just heard like a clip of it. But
I mean, it's entertainment. You do what you do. And when it's Tupac,
Mr. Edmund exhaling, he exhaled heavy twice on that.
Do what you do. Snoop came and talked about it a little bit, and he was just like,
Did he clear it? I mean, Snoop like because he getting a check out of it, or like how does that even work?
I mean,
somebody uses an artificially intelligent version of your voice.
I mean, they all connected to the same master, so
okay,
I think they'll be all right with it in the long run.
Yeah,
but
what was that exhale though? Because when I said using AI,
because I think that was one of the best parts about it.
About the
whole beef thing, turning people onto the technology.
Okay.
And talking about the technology,
using an opportunity to say, okay, here's what's possible.
Yep, I think that was one of the good things that could come of it. Because technology is moving fast, and people need to know your voice can be cloned, your image can be cloned.
Yeah,
and this is an entertaining way to learn something.
Yeah, I think it's worth looking into. Like, I'd like to have a song with Tupac. If I could,
I want a real song with Tupac. I don't want no AI.
Well, you ain't never gonna get that.
you done kind of missed that window, brother. You missed that opportunity.
You're like 20 years too late, sir.
So, what you was waiting on? You missed that train, brother. That one done left it. It ain't coming back.
No.
All right. So the South St. Pete Economic Conference 2024 theme, the future of St. Pete, is set to be a landmark event, bringing together diverse mix of stakeholders, including local entrepreneurs, community leaders, and policymakers. This conference aims to explore innovative economic strategies, sustainable urban development, and inclusive community engagement to shape the future of Southside St. Petersburg. With a focus on actionable insights and collaborative solutions, the event promises to be a catalyst for transformative growth and prosperity in the Tampa Bay region. And it's happening tomorrow night. 6 o'clock at Enoch Davis Center, man. So y'all come to the South St. Pete Economic Conference. And I see it's a powerful lineup, man. Mr. Edmund, I want to just applaud you for your leadership and organizing and how you putting this on, man. What can people expect from the South St. Pete Economic Conference tomorrow?
Oh, great question, Brother John. You can expect a panel conversation with a breakout conversation. So what we're going to do is attempt to, wrestle with some of these issues, some of these facts, little pesky things called facts.
Okay.
We're going to wrestle with some of the facts and then look to come up with some solutions.
I saw a report that came out. Are you going to highlight that? I saw the Power Broker and Urban Media Analytics did a report.
I seen the report. Big shouts out to Gypsy and the whole Power Broker.
Yep,
team
Equity Institute.
And the Equity Institute. Yes. Each panelist is an expert in their reserve or they spots.
Okay.
And they feel.
We have we have Trevor Mallory, that's over housing, neighborhood home solutions. We have Walter from
Walter Smith the second. Yeah,
I was going to say Walter Evans, thinking about
Shehan.
but yeah, Walter Smith with the environmental aspect. So it's gonna be amazing. We got Brian from Cold Box.
Yeah,
he's gonna be there moderating.
Yeah.
Big shouts out to Keisha. She's gonna do some hosting for us.
Okay, Carl Lavender. I see you got.
Yes, we got Carl Lavender. We're gonna be talking about equity,
chief equity officer.
And we just really gonna get to the meats and potatoes. There's a survey online. Go to the Southside Economic Conference on Facebook.
Okay.
You can register, take the survey. If you can't make it, you still can take the survey, get your information out. We look to synthesize the information. This is going to be a series conversation.
Okay.
Actually, the economic conference, something we did a couple of days back, Brother John, with the People's Budget Review, the New Deal for St. Pete, and those organizations. So we just brought it back, man. Big shots out to the New Deal for St. Pete, People's Budget Review, because these organizations, the ones that really put me on and taught me this stuff. So I'm just using what I was learned.
Right on, Nisia. I'm sure you're gonna be there. She said, "Conversations and debate. Hopefully, it leads to something." Who's there to speak on reparations? That's a great question. Who's there to speak on that?
Come talk about reparations.
Yeah.
I mean, because I look at it like this. I'm not an anti-reparations person. We have anti-reparations people in the Black community that have vehemently come out against people getting reparations. And I tell them, talk for yourself.
Okay.
See, next time you talking about reparations,
don't speak for me.
Don't be group talk. Because that's the problem. This group thinking, this group talk got our community in such a poor spot right now. When we're turning down the things that other organizations and groups have willfully taken.
Okay.
And made better. We're looking at these groups and they got it right now. Yeah, because people got reparations and they did something with the money.
Yeah.
They bought a house and then the house was worth $30,000, now it's worth $500,000.
And they took that equity, sent their kids to college.
And they got their reparations. But now when you talk about our community, you'll have the most posh, elegant person get up there and talk about how we don't need this and speak for yourself.
And that same person now made a deal with somebody else and got 10 lots for $2. Right?
Reparation.
Right. You know what I mean? Their kids is granted into
them the ones who don't need reparations.
Right. You don't need it because you done already got yours in some type of deal.
You've worked hard and pulled yourself up by your own bootstraps.
No, you sold out. You sold out.
Hey, you working hard and pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps. So you can do it. There was a blowout. The price they paid for you,
man.
Boy.
They got them on clearance,
Good
man.
Lord, the price they paid for you. Oh my God. So in other
was
news,
it worth it?
In other
was
news,
it worth it?
Is registration required? There's no registration, right?
We asking people to register.
Okay.
We're looking to have food. We're looking to make this a situation where you can come after work, grab a bite to eat, and then listen. You can give your 2 cents. And yes, it is up to us.
They say yes.
It's up to us to impact our community in a way that change happens. We can't think it's going to be somebody else to do it. We can't think that, oh yeah, I want reparations, so I'm going to send somebody else in. No, you want reparations? Pull up.
Yeah.
And get your people who want reparations, and we all going to pull up. And then we going to stand there together, because all this, I don't know, man, Uber Eats kind of operations y'all got going on.
Yeah, we need to double click on that. We'll double click on that on Freestyle Friday.
Uber Eats equity.
Because
Uber Eats equity. I got to say on that.
No.
Because you want to call up and somebody to bring you equity.
Got it.
It's Uber Eats equity. You want somebody,
and then you want them to respond, say, "Hey, that equity you ordered
is on the way."
And then you want to track it the whole way.
Then you following your equity. Man, it's been 10 years. We ain't got no equity yet. It's been 15 years. We still ain't got equity. Call them back. Get with the equity. Let's get a chief equity officer to give us that equity that we've been.
Wait, it looks from the GPS.
Thank you. That's a great analogy.
From the GPS, it looks like it's still sitting on your desk.
Right. And then you got a group saying, man, we ain't gonna never get our equity. You better try something different because equity ain't coming. And then somebody like, no, keep going. It's on the way.
It's coming, man. I'm telling you, man.
Right.
I'm looking at
They said it.
The equity is right here. It's on the way, man.
Right. See, they even got 2 more black people over there. That's what it looked like when it get, man. Wow. So, yeah, I love y'all. So, rapper and business mogul Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is expanding his media empire with the launch of G-Unit Studios. Guess where? In Shreveport, Louisiana. The establishment of this new production company aims to bring new opportunities for storytelling and entertainment to the area while fostering talent and boosting economic growth. Have y'all seen that?
Mm-hmm.
What you think, man?
Was he invading or is he a neighbor?
Ooh.
He could be both.
Is 50 Cent a invader in Shreveport?
He already got a day named after him.
In Shreveport? What, in Louisiana? So, I don't know.
Did you
and I don't know where, like, he's just like, he went to sleep. I'm like, really? And he just like, and I can't see his eyes through the shade. So I'm like, what happened? Like he real deal was locked in.
Like he really
check
went like
all the
this.
way out.
Like he was in
Thank you,
stride and he
Macy.
did like this.
I ain't noticed.
Link to register, please. Put the link in the chat, man. Let
This
people know.
happening. And
what y'all said? I ain't hear you.
I know.
That's what we said. Like we sitting directly across from you, and you just checked out all the way.
And he's the one who threw it out there.
Right.
No, I said
I can make a book of top. What you even talking about? And then he just gone. But anyways, so the purpose. I ain't gonna. We'll talk more about 50 Cent in the G-Unit Studios at another time.
Actually, I'm excited about 50 Cent in the G-Unit. One thing I like 50.
It's showing what's possible.
I like 50.
Yeah.
50 stay in his own lane. He do what he do. He don't change for nobody. He don't really care.
Yeah,
He's
consistent.
definitely made impact in the industry. He has some of the greatest shows on TV right now.
He got a real deal lineup, man.
Right.
Yeah, he got a real powerful lineup. So shout out to 50 Cent, man, and that move, because again, being able to bring them jobs, man, in the economic development, expecting to create more jobs and contribute to the area's economic growth. The mayor expressed excitement about collaborating with 50 Cent and G-Unit Film and Television to bring these movies and entertainment to the city. Then they talk about his track record and some of the other programs and things that he's done. So yeah, it's pretty huge, man. And like what King Jab said, that's something that we can do here in St. Pete.
And
man.
just think, 50 Cent has been at it for about like 18 years, somewhere around there, maybe a little
early O's, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like
01,
you
02,
gotta
yeah.
think of when he came out and look
Yeah.
how much he's done.
Yeah.
He sold vitamin water, which
Yeah.
was his first big thing.
It's like $100 million deal.
that he did,
Yeah.
and then he just kind of
Just
kept
kept
it
going,
moving.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like really doing this thing, man. So since we talking about it, what does it say? Producing shows and content since 2003. He's collaborated with networks like Stars, has Power, Ghost, Raising Canaan, Force, and BMF for some of his shows. And he aims to continue his mission of bringing untold stories to the forefront. He sees the G-Unit as more than just an entertainment, but as a platform for voices that need to be heard and stories that need to be told. Sounds like the New Image Project, man.
It's definitely I want to say and it's a reason he's not in New York, Hollywood, or any of those other places. He picked that location because of its affordability.
Yeah.
Bottom line,
right?
In producing those movies,
right,
and producing those shows and those films, I definitely salute him, because you go from working with a big shots I feel.
Yeah. We was talking about, and Qiana, what's happening with TikTok now?
They done banned it.
And just like that, folks. All right, next story. on the TikTok ban? Qiana, hold on. Let's run that back for the people who didn't hear. Qiana, what's going on with the TikTok ban?
They done banned it.
Okay, thank you very much.
We said that I can't remember what I was
It's a conspiracy.
I've been trying to get our camera back on, right? But no, so they got like what 6 to 10 months or something like that to sell to a U.S. company or something.
Wow.
But it
either sell it to us or don't do business here.
This is bullying at its finest.
I think American is bullies though.
All day.
Sell it to me or shut it down.
And I think it's a twisted thing because they know the influence of social media.
Right.
They got documents that because a lot of the politicians weren't coming back. They weren't with it, but they
a lot of politicians that voted for it
wasn't with it. But
okay,
they seen the intel, it's like
the data that shows, like
and so it's for real. This.
So like the China data thing is a real. It's not a red herring.
This influence thing is so real.
Yeah.
These companies use propaganda.
Brittany, what's good? I met Brittany at the Urban the other day.
And influence so strong.
Yeah.
And so much that they know what that other country is doing.
Right.
And we have no idea. And so now what TikTok, what they're going to do is fight. They're going to put up a fight and make the people go on their side and be against the government. And that's one of the things they want to do.
That's a part of the strategy.
Come on, man.
So hold on. I just want to understand this. So now that TikTok's pushback is going to be saying, look at what y'all government doing and how they censoring y'all.
Yeah, y'all making money.
And then people going to say, okay, you know what? Nah, we can't let the government do that.
Yes, it's going to
be. And then it causes.
But then the government tell you. Then the government who lies, gonna tell you
they do.
that they're stealing our information to use it against us, which they're doing as well. And so it's like the parents don't want to be called out on their BS. So what do? You shut it down.
So they already have social media bans all over the country. 13, 14, 15
like here in Florida. Yeah.
Like this is a playbook they're playing from.
Okay.
And it just seems like it's popping up to us, but it is a step-by-step playbook that's being ran, and so we just got to keep our head on our
I think there should be an age limit on it.
I agree.
But as far as like the
age
total
limit should be 35.
TikTok,
all social media, you can't get on social media unless you're 35 and up, like the Catholics at night.
Oh my God!
All right,
I had thoughts on that, but we ain't got time.
You got 10 seconds. Say your final thoughts.
See y'all tomorrow the economic conference at Enoch Davis Center at 6 p.m. I put the link in the chat.
Right on. There's more that needs to be done and needs to be said, man. I thank y'all for tuning in and appreciate y'all for rocking with us.
Yeah, stay tuned for Sister Hughes.
Make you lose your shoes and shout all around the house.
Mm-hmm.
This has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on What's on Your Mind Wednesday, y'all. You can catch the live.com, the moshowlive.com. Check it out, y'all. Or just go back and catch what you missed earlier. It's a lot of great information. This has been your brother, the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, and I'm your brother, John.
This is Qiana.
And I'm the one and only Mr. Ed.
And we